lost nearly $12,000 today on BPTH. All today on Young Money Investments. Alright you guys, so in today's video we are going to be talking about one of my worst trades that I have honestly and truly ever taken. This is up there, probably top 3 for sure, if not like top 2. I mean, one of the worst trades that I've ever made, and just the lack of just like decision making, the lack of like being obedient to my rules was rampant in this trade. So I want to talk a little bit about the company that I was trading today, what it did, and how stupid I was, mixed with a lot of bad luck. I think unfortunately Trade Zero screwed me over pretty hard on this one, but again, I put myself in this situation to be screwed over. So let's take a look really quick, and I am going to walk you through BPTH. So BPTH today was running pre-market hours down here at about $13. If you go back to like the 10-day chart here, you literally are going to see that BPTH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, so less than a week's time, it ran from $1.84 all the way up here to 73 something, about a 3,800% run, all within roughly, like I said, a week's period of time. And so we are going to recap this. So today's trade, if you take a look at it, was trading down here roughly at about $15 or so. Let's actually zoom in a little bit more on this. It was trading down here roughly at about 11, about 15 or so, and then started to make this run. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's running up. I was like, okay, it's up 50, 60% on the day. I was like, okay, it's time to start shorting. So I start shorting right here at roughly about $24 or so. Comes up, you know, I'm down a little bit, down, oh, I don't know, I was probably down roughly about $800 or so. I think I was down roughly at about $1,200 at one point, $1,100 or so. And I didn't have a whole lot of shares, quite honestly. I think in total, my total share count got up to 235 shares on this. And then, you know, it started to come down. We came down from highs right here, roughly of about, this says 18%, but I'm going to fathom, well, yeah, I'm going to fathom that this was even more. It was about 23%. I was about break even. I was about break even right at this 24 point. I was actually up. a decent amount. And then we started to get this run, and we started to see this just start to take off. And I had level of support after support after support drawn. What I did was I went out. My strategy on this was take a look at the 180-day chart here. You know, it was trading, you know, right in this range. And so basically what I did on the charts here was I saw resistance or support right here at about $21, $22, about $22. It broke through that level. I saw it come up here. I said, okay, we're sitting roughly at about $25 or so. That was the next level of support. Broke through that one. And at that point, by that point, I was down probably $2,000, $3,000 or so. And I thought, okay, I got to stay in this now. Like it's going to come up here. It's going to keep coming up. Touched about $28. And I thought, okay, again, it's going to hold. And I had these lines drawn in. These are almost like, okay, Cameron, get out. Okay, Cameron, get out. Okay, Cameron, you really need to get out. No, this is time. By the time it hit 32, it was parabolic. This company was just running so much. And so these were all lines, though, of support and resistance that I had drawn before I got into this flip and trade. And so this is what frustrates me about the trade is I knew I had these points where I said, okay, you need to learn to take an L. And, you know, I'm at $2,000, you know, a $2,000 loss, let's say, you know, $1,500, $1,600 loss. Now I'm at like a $2,500 loss. Now I'm at about, let's say a $4,500 loss right here. You know, still not fun to take a $4,500 loss. But nevertheless, you know, I was like, okay, it's going to be done, right? No, it continued to run, and it just kept getting halted and then would gap higher, get halted, gap higher, get halted, gap higher. I actually ended up putting in a sell order up here towards the very top. I wanted to sell out of 75 shares. And then like I said, that's where my luck ran out. Unfortunately, the broker, because it had gapped up so much, my 75 shares of covering, I did not get to cover. It actually covered my rest of my position. And so pretty much most of my position ended up getting covered more towards the top, basically towards the absolute crest of this stock. And as you can see, even if you sold out there, I mean, you're looking at a run roughly of about an 18%, 18% drop that would have saved me thousands of dollars if I would have just sold out there. But then it continued to gap down all the way down here into the 44 range, gap down here to 39. Then it had a little bit of a candle up, came back down. I mean, we're talking about it got all the way down to 27. At this point, I would have been up. At this point, I would have been positive in my trade. But because I had not managed risk properly, I ended up taking a fat $11,800 and some odd dollar loss, I believe. Pretty much like $11,811 or something like that, I believe. And that's really the show. So if we want to take a look at what made BPTH run, basically what this was Biopath Holdings ran because of positive phase 2 data on its new drug, which attacks acute myeloid leukemia. And so the big thing with this was, if you look at the charts, the volume here, it has about 500,000 in float. That's about how many shares are able to be traded, and it was going well over that. And so it continued to just see this continue to run, that with a low float stock like this, positive phase 2 results. All the chat rooms were obviously pumping it. That's going to be a big thing when chat rooms decide to pump the stock as well. It is going to go parabolic. And these things very rarely happen. These massive 3,000% runners don't happen. I mean, even on the day, I mean, we're talking about a run of 344%. I mean, these things do not normally happen. And the reality is, you know, I thought maybe right here is where it would peak. No, it just continued to candle up. And so that's the thing, is this news, while most likely we will see this stock continue to downtrend and get back down into the low 20s for sure. I was not able to hold on for the wild ride. And so that is going to be the reality, is you need to learn to listen to yourself. This is just a great example and a great learning lesson for myself personally, that hey, it's going to suck to take that potentially $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 loss. But it's a whole lot better than taking a almost $12,000 loss, because you can't learn to manage your you know what risk. That was my biggest problem, and it's frustrating. It really, you know, you really start to question yourself as a day trader when you cannot manage risk. That is your biggest Achilles heel as a human being, is psychology, right? Psychology. If you cannot, you know, manage that, you are going to have a lot of issues. And I obviously am going to take this to heart. Fortunately, this is not a 6-figure loss. This is not, you know, like a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 loss. This is a $11,800 loss, which again is still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but it could be worse. This is just, though, a very good example of poor risk management, bad luck on my part, that, you know, I was getting a margin call at the very top on this small account challenge, and that's why the account blew up. So thank you so much for looking at this video. Thanks for checking this out. My goal is to be transparent with you guys, to show you that even traders like myself have bad days. We mess up, and so that is a perfect prime example that there are times where these companies will go parabolic, and you will get short squeezed, and you will get effed really hard. So there will be better trades to come. Gonna have to refund this account. And hey, it's hard to publicly admit that you blew up, you know, didn't really blow up the whole account, but I mean, obviously well over the whole 50%. I mean, we're talking about probably 70-80% of the account was pretty much donezo on this trade. And so it doesn't matter how well you've done in the past. It matters about how you're managing your effing risk. in the present and from here on out. So thank you so much for tuning into Young Money Investments. If you want to check out one of my other videos, please check that out, and you know, we'll keep them coming. Talk to you guys later. Bye.